Hey everybody, and welcome to Why Buy. This is the Mark I Audi TT American Le Mans Series Commemorative Edition. Let's jump in.
Through my life, I own many vehicles, and I always purchase my vehicle with the intention of, am I going to enjoy every ride? For me, a vehicle is not just driving it from point A to point B. It's every single time I'm going to be in that vehicle, am I going to have fun? Am I going to enjoy it? Either it's how sporty it is, the comfort, how luxury, or even the sound system. It's affordable for everyone, and the parts are actually really cheap. Even the performance parts are actually on sale most of the time because they have so many, and it's not a platform that's been supported anymore. They just want to get rid of it. So it's actually a good bang for the buck. You know the Audi TT is going to draw attention. You're going to get thumbs ups. Kids going to come on the street, ask you questions. Can I sit in it? Can I take pictures? Can you rev it? The amount of people that ask me if I can rev it. I even get older people that are 50 or 60-year-old talking to me about how they loved the Audi when they first came out, and they wish they had one. When I purchased mine, since I have two, I had neighbors asking me for rides if they can go in my car with me because they've never been in one and they've been dreaming about it. The Audi TT is also really rare to come across on the street. It's a vehicle that wasn't really popular in America, so even nowadays the look of it still stand out. And even if it's a 20-year-old, 15-year-old Audi TT, it just looks amazing. At first, when I started shopping for an Audi TT, I was looking at different colors, different models, VR6, 1.8, front-wheel drive, DSG, 6-speed transmission. And when I saw that red one with the white interior, I noticed right away that there's not many of them for sale. And made me wonder and do some search, why is that combination so rare? And that's when I discovered there's the ALMS edition, the American Le Mans Series. Not only this Audi, it's a sports car, but it's also a commemorative edition for Audi performance in the race. What's special about the Le Mans Series is it was a good way for a manufacturer to show what they can do on a technology standpoint and also show off to their other competitors how well they build their vehicles. That race was not only about who finished first, it's about who does the most amount of distance, the most amount of lap. And a funny fact is that TT was never a car that participated to the Le Mans Series. The American Le Mans was a little bit different than the Le Mans Series from France. In America, it was more about accumulating points throughout a series of races. And Audi in 2000 and 2001 dominated the competition and finishing with more than 100 points ahead of the other competitors. For anyone that was following the American Le Mans Series, it was really a privilege and something really special to put your hand on one of those vehicles. The Audi TT ALMS edition not only was a sporty car and a really tight package, but also it was an addition to celebrate Audi's victory in the Le Mans Series. When I first bought that vehicle, yes, I did care about the fact it's an ALMS edition for the simple reason that it's rare. There's only 1,000 of those made, 500 of this specific color of exterior and interior, and that made it, for me, something appealing, something really special that I wanted to own.
So this special edition Audi has a beating heart that's really quite unique, but why is this turbocharged 4-cylinder at the core of this car?
Under the hood of this Audi TT, there's a 1.8 turbo, 225 horsepower, 207 foot-pound of torque, and attached to a 6-speed transmission This vehicle goes. When you press on the gas and you hit 3,000 RPM and the turbo spool, you know it. First generation Audi TT came with 3 choice of engine. There was a 1.8 with a smaller turbo, only 180 horsepower. You had the 225, which is this one, the 1.8 with a bigger turbo, and you had the VR6 3.2 liter engine. This Audi only came with a 1.8 turbo 225. The benefit of getting the 1.8 225 is the fact that it has a better tunability compared to the 1.8 180 horsepower. There's a lot of aftermarket parts, a lot of software, and you can just get a lot of power without changing the turbo or upgrading any big components. In terms of power delivery, this car is turbo equipped. That means there's a little lag at the beginning, but once the turbo spool and the power is delivered to the wheel, it just goes like a rocket, one gear after the other, and it just never stops. It kicks around 3,000, 3,500 RPM in that ballpark. Turbo, you like, then now you feel it. If you want to stay in the power band, I would say wait till a late shift around 4,000, 5,000 RPM. So when you shift the next gear, you're still in the boost. The 1.8 225 has 5 valves. Most 4-cylinders had only 2 intake valve and 2 exhaust valve. This one is equipped with 5.
This episode is in partnership with Why Buy Professional Documentation. We offer Edmonton and Calgary businesses video production and digital branding services. For more information, please visit whybuypd.com.
It's an engine that VW and Audi use a different recipe, different vehicle, and there's a ton of reliable source that shows that this engine is bulletproof.
Now for, well, I don't know, a year or so, this has been languishing right at the bottom of our cool wall. Seriously uncool, we reckon. And that's because,
it's just so willfully stylish, so deliberately hip and cool. Look at those air vents and the switches. It's all form and forget the function.
Now, a lot of skeptics might say that the Audi TT was never really a true sports car, being that the chassis, the platform, was shared with multiple other vehicles. But all that aside, from an owner's perspective, what is this car actually like to drive?
When I first drove this Audi TT for the first time, it felt like being in a go-kart. It felt really confident in the curves, and I was actually surprised by it. The first thing that drew my attention is how I missed the turbo. I own many vehicles in my life, and driving this vehicle, when you hear that whoosh from the diverter valve, it really made me realize that a turbo vehicle is for me. The handling, the responsiveness of the heavy steering wheel, how light it feels, how small, it just feels like a real sports car. The Quattro system with the power and the shifting experience just makes it amazing. On a daily basis, this car is going to draw a lot of attention, which I like about it. It's a really compact vehicle. Driving around town, it's a blast.
Although the Audi TT was really only meant to have a manual transmission from the get-go, they actually changed it a little bit when it went to market. To appeal to a wider audience, you could get it in an automatic transmission, and then of course later with the VR6, you had the DSG. But this special commemorative edition, it actually only came in a 6-speed manual. The real question is that a drawback?
Personally, I rather a manual transmission over an automatic, for the simple reason that when you buy a sports car, you want to be part of that vehicle. You're buying it for the experience, and nothing makes you more part of the vehicle than shifting a gearbox.
So if you watch the original Audi TT video that we published, you'll know that the design history of this car is really a watershed moment. But in this special commemorative edition, let's take a look at the interior, because there's a few design tweaks that stand out and they're worth taking a look at.
This Avis Silver was only available with this edition of the Audi TT. When you first get on board and you sit, you really know that you're part of a sports car. It feels small, everything is close, the commands are intuitive, and even here, with the magic of a touch, you unveil the radio. Also, this special edition not only is a special edition, but it's also is the fully loaded version of the Audi TT of that year. It comes with everything. The only way you could get the Avis Silver in an Audi TT in America was with this Audi TT ALMS edition. At first, when I was looking at the first generation Audi TT, I was never a fan of it. But when I sat in one, I knew it was the right car for me. It feels small, it feels tight, it just feels like being in a go-kart. This 6-speed manual transmission has a really small gear ratio, perfect for a track, which is normal. This car is a special edition for a Le Mans series. Despite it's a top model, even for a 2002, it doesn't have electric seats, but it has really excellent heated seats. Even after 20 years, the seats works amazing. The brushed aluminum in this vehicle is actually a nice little touch that Audi did, because you have some on the door, steering wheel, for the vents, the shifting knob. It's just an extra attention that Audi took compared to other manufacturers that wouldn't think about that. It just makes you believe that the people behind the design of this car took extra care if they're gonna go that far to match the shifting knob with the door all the way to the vent.
So when we look at the design of the Audi TT and people say it's the Bauhaus inspired design, what they're really referring to is the Bauhaus school of art, design, and architecture. It basically means that the design should follow, form and then function, where there's clean geometric shapes and lines. It's kind of a minimalist approach and elegance and simplicity. And that's exactly what this car kind of planted a flag in the automotive world. Especially when the Audi TT debuted, there really wasn't anything that looked like this car. So a lot of people were intrigued as to, well, where did they get the inspiration for something like this? So again, not wanting to rehash what we did in the first Audi TT Mark I video, but specifically again, coming back to this car and this Le Mans commemorative edition, it's just nice to appreciate the care and attention to the detail. These cars still draw attention and they just look gorgeous.
The look of that car is something that drew my attention at a very young age. This car being a 2002, I was fairly young when it came out, but I remember one of my very first games and my favorite game I played, Need for Speed 2, Underground 2, the Audi TT was actually an option in one of the cars that you would win throughout the race. Owning one now as an adult just makes it more exceptional.
Now, depending on the owner, you're free to do whatever you want with your car. If you want to modify it, try and preserve it. But this engine in this Mark I TT in particular, the 1.8 turbo, is kind of a sought after engine. Not because of so much how it sounds, but what you can do with it in modifications.
This Audi TT equipped with the 1.8 225 horsepower is plenty capable for tuning and performance upgrade. Myself, I went with a tuned Unitronic Stage 1 Plus. It brings the power from 225 to 273 horsepower and the torque from 207 to 275. The nice thing is with that 1.8 Audi TT, it's been really popular, which made it a choice for performance and modification across the globe. There's plenty of resources and information available if you want to upgrade the engine. Some other things I did to personalize the vehicle quickly was the wheels. I smoked the rear taillights. I repainted the front grille. The front grille was faded gray. Now it's nice and glossy black. And also I stripped the interior. Okay, at first I really wanted to clean the interior, so I started by stripping the interior. And when I bought it from the previous owner, she told me that she lost a diamond pendant in the vehicle, so I really made it a mission to find it. And from there, I stripped the whole interior, removed the seats, and started removing panels. And since that car is a commemorative edition for a race cars don't have any interior, so just left it like that. When I first started shopping for an Audi TT Mark I noticed that those ALMS edition were really rare. But what's even more rare is finding one with the original certificate that came with it from the dealership, with the VIN number matching. You don't need to have a lot of money to own a special car. You just gotta wait for the right vehicle at the right time and the price will come down. Find one that's been sleeping somewhere or look every day on different websites and I guarantee you'll find the gem of your life. You just gotta be patient. Something that I really enjoy with that vehicle is it's small. An underdog. People won't think it's fast. They won't think it handles corners amazingly, but it really does. And something that I really have joy to do is when I take a corner and I have another sports car behind me. And you know when he's tailgating you and he's going to push you to see, you know, what you got? Well, I guarantee you if you own an Audi TT, they won't be able to follow you in any corners at all.
The Mark I Audi TT is really something of a special car. Some buyers are looking to just relive and experience a little bit of nostalgia with something that shook the automotive car world. Some people might see the Audi TT as kind of the inciting car that inspired the development and the conception of the Audi R8. But what's really cool is to see young, new buyers looking at the Audi TT as something that's not just practical and a fun sports car, but that they're making modifications and bringing it to life again. And it's really a testament to the design of the car for it to still be relevant and turn heads. And I mean, if you see an Audi TT, you're bound to take a second look because I think the design is just timeless. So whether it's people who want to relive the good old days or young buyers wanting to get into a fun sports car that's inexpensive and fun to drive, the Mark I Audi TT is probably going to remain one of the greatest little sports cars that you can buy. So if you thought this video was helpful, please like and subscribe, show your support, and thanks for watching.
Look at this, a lot of tubes and stuff that we don't know what it does. That car really shines in the corners. Driving this car is like being in a rainbow. Brian is like, what the f***?
Oh, he's getting passed right now by a GTR.
Me personally, I've done a Unitronic Stage 1 Plus to mine. It bumps the power of about 600 horsepower. That's too much, unfortunately.
I wish. This thing is.
And I speak, I'm like, what am I supposed to say at the end? And when you take curves and corners and you drive it like it should be, you know that it's a really well round up vehicle. Round up is not really good. Want me just to repeat that part? Modifying your vehicle, it's a way for you to personally attach yourself and express yourself, exterior your feelings. Customize.
Exactly. I deal with two people, but today I'm on my own side.
Yeah, the reality is that there's voltage shy with
ready to come off.
nothing,
Get a
so.
grip from underneath so you can get it off nice and straight.
Oh, because they want, okay, so like it warm up the engine quicker or?
No. It tricks the system because by default, it shuts the valves right after you start it.
Because you want it to be loud when I started.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about a technique to proper startup for the lubrication of the engine before I back out. Okay, so I said press start one time, accessories.
Yep.
And I press drive select.
Okay, now we're in dynamic. That's good.
Fast and Furious mode.
I'm more interested in that. It looks like a normal Audi TT with a few stickers on it. And it has a normal Audi TT engine, 1.8 litres with a turbocharger. The rear wheels are driven by a little something in the boot. Another 400 horsepower engine. That hurts! It's ridiculous. Twice the fuel bills, but, must be said, twice the fun.
This episode is in partnership with Why Buy Professional Documentation. We offer Edmonton and Calgary businesses video production and digital branding services. For more information, please visit whybuypd.com.